Yeah, obviously Milos is a tough player. We've played each other a couple times at Grand Slams, and we've played each other Masters events, tour events. So we both know each other's games fairly well. We know what's coming, and I know what to expect, and he knows what I'm going to do. So it's going to be incredibly tough. But I'm secretly very excited just to be out here again in the Aussie summer. In front of the home crowd to play a tough opponent. I can see it's a good thing. I have to be locked in from the get go. And I'm excited, but again, it's going to be a tough match. He's playing well, so I'm looking forward to it.
How's your health?
Nick,
Can I ask? Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Nick,
Yes.
that's some nice thoughts for Andy Murray. It's going to be obviously sad to see him leave the game at some stage this year.
Yeah, obviously pretty sad news. He was one of my closest friends on tour, so I think everyone kind of said their piece yesterday. But I knew that I was always going to do something because he was one of my best friends. We did stuff like ride on roller coasters together and all that sort of stuff. So it was a sad day for the sport. He's a legend. I felt like he was someone that everyone could relate to, especially myself. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into it because everyone kind of knows how sad it is. I don't need to go on, and I think he. Obviously it's a sad time, but I think he can. No, I think he could do very well here. So I don't want to keep bringing it up that his time's nearly up. He could do very well here, and fingers crossed his health holds up for a little bit more as well. So I want to stay positive for him, not focus on the negatives. He's back, he's playing. I don't think results matter. It's just as long as he's still around. That's what's important.
Just why could you relate to him? You said you were able to relate to him.
He was a normal person. When I hung out with him, he was funny. I didn't take himself too seriously. We had a lot of fun. Every time I hung around him, he wasn't someone that I felt comfortable around him all the time. He kind of felt like he was like 20, like he was a little bit immature at times. I don't know. He was so friendly. He was humble. He was down to earth. Just a normal guy. I just felt like he wasn't like he's a legend of the sport, but I never saw it like that.
Just to get back to my first question, how are you? How's your health?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Obviously had a spider bite around Christmas time, but that's all fine now. And obviously my tournament in Brisbane didn't go as well as I planned. But just to get some matches there and obviously play in Sydney and Kyrgios, I feel good. I feel ready.
Nick, there's a vote coming up on whether to keep Chris Komoda as the president of the ATP. Vasek Pospisil's put out a statement today it's actually a letter, but to the players calling for change, saying we need a CEO that represents our interests. I just wondered what your thoughts were on it.
I personally like Chris. I think he's always try. I think the way the changes that tennis is having with ATP Cup and stuff, I think it's going in the right direction. So he's trying to do the right thing. I really like him. So.
Nick, you spoke about how difficult it was last year to have a lot of time away on the road. Has it been sort of mentally refreshing for you to have a couple of months at home?
Yeah, for sure. I think I was almost on the road for nearly 6 months, so that was pretty tough for me. And obviously the off-season, just being in Canberra at home was unbelievable, just spending time with family. I hadn't seen my sister in a while, and she was back home. So just spending time with family, friends, and just kind of taking the time away from the sport, I think mentally recharged me a lot. And the off season went really quickly, but obviously the Aussie summer is the best time of the year. I think for all Australians, think it's the most exciting, and they love playing in front of their own crowd. So yeah, being home was awesome.
And I know that you've sort of had to improve the mental sort of side of your game and the focus and that sort of stuff. Mark Philippou has suggested that you might sort of have a fear of showing that you're trying on court. Do you sort of see any element of truth in that, or have any thoughts on that?
Not really. I don't really know what to say to it. Cheers, Mark.
What do you need to get right to beat Milos, Nick?
Obviously, I've got to take care of my service games. He's got one of the best serves in the world, and he's proven that year after year. He's serving his first shot's incredibly good. He's incredibly disciplined. Never really gives up easy points, always tries his hardest every point. So I know that I have to take care of my service games. And I may not even get a look on his serve. So I know that I've got to compete for every point on his service games, try and make him as uncomfortable as possible. But again, it's a match where we're both going to try and keep it on each other's rackets. So it's going to be tough. It's tough for anyone in the world to go up against Milos. He's an unbelievable player. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Nick, where do you think you could be ranking-wise at the end of the season after the 4th Grand Slam?
Um, well, I haven't. There's a lot of things that have to go right. Obviously health is a big one. And playing playing events. I've never really been the type of person to play a lot of events. Always probably been one of the people who plays the least events out of the top 100. So I think if I get right physically and mentally and I play the events and do well, I think, I was 13 the year where I, played I think 18 events, and I was 13 and I didn't even play any of the European swings. So realistically I could be top 10. Like that's a fact, but I haven't been there yet. So I'm just, right now I'm not even thinking about that. I want to just, enjoy my time in Australia, the Aussie summer, and I want to just play good tennis and be happy. That's the main thing.
And Nick, can you talk in general just about your relationship with umpires, and also do you think it's kind of an odd job for people to pursue?
I love them. I go to dinner with them all the time. Their job's tough. I don't think they're just doing the best they can. I understand that sometimes, I do go a bit too far in frustration, and when I'm competing out there, you do kind of lose touch of reality that they're just normal people trying to do their best, and they do make mistakes. So, when I see them off the court, I kind of, laugh when I walk past them, and they know that, on court, things happen. But, off the court, it's a strange occupation to do. I wouldn't personally do it, because I wouldn't want, like, a guy like myself just hounding me for 2.5 hours, but someone's got to do it, I guess.
You were talking about the number of events that you play.
Yep.
A couple of years ago, you and Alexander Zverev played a number of matches, most of which you won. And your careers have gone in slightly different directions since then. I know you've had a number of injuries. Does that wind you up a bit at all? Does that make you want to maybe say, actually, I can beat this bloke. I want to get up there as well?
It doesn't wind me up at all. Again, when someone has success my age or younger than me, I am not at all the type to be like jealous or anything like that. For me, seeing that I know what I'm capable of, I've beaten the big four. Zverev's had an unbelievable career. He's only going to get better. I think he's got a lot to improve on. When I watch him play, I still see so many things he can improve on. It's scary, the fact that he's, how good he is already. So, of course, we all want to have success, but I know that I got to just take care of every day. I was battling other things than on court, so I need to, get myself right, not worry about what anyone else is doing. He's only going to get better. That's the scary thing. He's young, and hopefully his body stays right. But we're all. I don't get. It doesn't wind me up at all.
Nick, you mentioned that being physically and mentally ready this year is going to be crucial. Just wanted to ask you about the mental side of things. Have you been doing anything different to trying to be able to handle the rigors of the tour, the travel, being homesick, all of these kind of things? Have you been doing anything different mentally?
Yeah, for sure. I've been seeking help. I was in some, as I said, I don't really want to touch too much on it because it was pretty personal stuff that was going on last year. I was in some bad places. So right now I feel like I'm in a really good spot mentally. People obviously going to think that, he drew Raonic, it's a terrible draw, it's a nightmare draw for him. But honestly, I don't care. I'm healthy, I'm happy, go out there, compete, whatever happens, happens. And realistic thing is, like, one day it's going to end for me, like this sport. And we saw yesterday Andy Murray, like, he literally, like a legend of the game, is not going to play anymore. Like, those are the things that, I take those things for granted, how much I'm going to play Grand Slams. Like, I'm just going to enjoy the moment. I'm not going to worry about anything. If I win, I win, I lose, I lose. I just want to be, like, literally just waking up and be excited to go on court. Because last year I was not in that mind frame.
Just on that, you're saying you're in a good place now. Do you have an idea of how you can try and sustain that? Because it's the ups and downs really that's difficult for all of us.
I feel like you think I'm really wise. Like, I'm only 23. I don't have all the answers. I'm trying my hardest to just feel like just every day just enjoy myself and try and just do the right things. That's all. I'm just trying to be better every day, literally. I'm not like 40. Like, I don't have all the answers.
Did you think Bernie's serve on match point at Kyrgios was funny?
I honestly had no idea what was going on. I was looking down and I looked up and it was just Bernard being Bernard, I guess. He's having a bit of fun, but it was just good to see him back on the court. He obviously took time away and he was going through some struggles. To see him back was pretty special, and he's always been a good mate of mine. So, the serve was outrageous. So I just let him have it because I knew he would like it.